Oh, I love this.
This is the second one. I'm gonna do a third one.
I love it.
Yeah.
Karen Wars.
Wow.
Karen Wars.
Star Wars.
Patriot Strikes Back.
Oh God,
That's so appropriate.
this is awesome. Oh
we
my gosh.
We shouldn't laugh. She's going to be the next president of Lucasfilms.
Here's the other one. Hold on. Here we go. The first one I made lethal. I mean, final.
So flippin' funny.
I knew
You know she hates this. If she sees this, she's gonna hate it.
Karen Wars a new complaints.
Oh my gosh,
That's great.
Oh my God.
I love this.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
Is there anything?
this is going to provide so much freaking material.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Yeah,
Look,
I mean, they do this to themselves.
Yeah,
they
you
do.
Go to Disney Star Wars is Dumb. Itchy has like a whole section on the SJW writers and just like all the quotes and what context they're in. Like Itchy's you can tell Itchy is definitely hardcore conservative, but he presents all the material. He said this is the context and this is what was said.
That's why I love his stuff.
Yeah, but he's gonna have a field day.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy that this beer bug is doing what it's doing, and people are coming together, and we still got these assholes doing the same shit over and over again. All they are doing is trying to shove their warped philosophy into our lives through our TV, through our media, through our movies, and they just don't get. They suck. They suck.
No, they double down and triple down and
Yeah.
They won't stop.
And
I've never
they will go
seen
broke to do it.
They will.
Yeah.
They will.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, these companies are made to make money. This business structure, this business plan they have is failing so bad. And most places they catch it within a year or two. This has been going on since 2016, at least in our fandom, and they just won't quit.
I think a lot of it has to do, not a lot of it, or most of it has to do. It's like Disney used to be about storytelling.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now that, Iger's been in there for so long, he's a merchandise guy. So it's about merchandising. So it's about how much merchandise can they pimp. It's not about the story. It's not about how good it is. It's not about the craft. It's not about any of that.
But even then the merchandising is down, so they can't even justify it.
I know. This is just exactly the kind of myopic view that they have, because a lot of the same questions that we ask, like, you have no plan for this IP. Why isn't this making money? Investors get up on the investor call when they call in and say these same exact things, and Iger just tap dances around it and keeps pushing the agenda.
Wow.
It's head banging.
I was watching Anna a few weeks ago. It was after the investor meeting. And what I brought up, I said something that was ignorant in the chat. Now, not ignorant as in I was intentionally trying to be a jerk, but just complete ignorance about like they're going to need to fall. I would say something to the effect of, they're going to have to burn it down. They're going to have to just lose money and collapse before any of this changes. Then Anna brought up a great point. What about all of the people that work at the parks? What about all the people that work on sets that don't say anything?
That's who I really feel bad for.
Right.
Those people. I mean, especially the cast members, because they don't make a lot of money. And I tell people there's broke and then there's Florida broke.
Right.
And I've been Florida broke. I mean, the maximum unemployment there per week is $275.
Oh God.
And the cast members do.
Per week.
A week.
The sad thing is too is if you watch that drunk 3PO video on their park hopping, he recently put out, and he talks about like how the last parade was all the cast members crying. Like, these people love their jobs.
They
I
love what
Yeah.
they do.
I just wish the people who ran these companies loved it as much as these cast members.
Yeah.
They don't. For them, it's about the money. For them, it's about the prestige.
Oh,
They
that piece of
don't
shit.
understand how much these people love being a part of the Disney magic and making that magic. I mean, I tell people Disney has been part of my family for over probably like 50 years. Four
Yeah.
generations of my family have walked through the Magic Kingdom,
Wow.
you know, and all we remember is just the magic that the cast members would do for us.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what the problem is, and we all know this, but it has to be said again, is that the corporate division of these companies, Disney, let's just go with Disney. They lost the focus, which was the customer. Make this magical for the customer.
Right.
And they lost that.
It's all about the investors and making money for the shareholders, and the largest shareholders are two hedge fund firms. Actually.
Right. But it's also their agenda. It's making money for these people and their agenda. It's no longer how can we make these children and these people that grew up with Disney happy?
Yeah.
It's final. And this looks like Sloth's fucking
Final.
cousin.
Could you tell me why there's a round head on the screen?
Well, the round head is giving you his vote of confidence for this new Russian doll writer who's doing the new Disney show. So he says here, so you can see him there. You know who that is? You know who that is. Everyone knows who that is. Says here, if you're looking for something good to watch on TV tonight, I'll add my voice. Oh, good. It's his approval to the growing chorus. Russian Doll is my favorite new show since Killing Eve.
What the heck is that show?
It's the show that the other chick, that Muppet Head,
I've never heard of that show.
Neither have I.
No.
She also did she's done a couple shows on Netflix. None that I've heard. And I watch Netflix all the time. I don't.
I heard Russian Doll. I did hear about it. There's somebody in it too. Oh God, what is her name?
I'm looking at it on IMDb right now.
Okay,
Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, I pulled it up. Natasha
Lyonne. That's
She's
it.
the main character in it.
Yep.
I don't know any of these people.
That's really the only person I know, though.
Amy Poehler helped create it.
Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Remember when she was funny?
Yes, I do. And it's a shame.
Well, if Roundhead Johnson says something's good, that means it ain't good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know it ain't good.
Well, no, it'll be good for 50% of the people in his mind.
Yeah, which is in probably what, 15%?
Right,
You
really,
know, the people.
15%.
Point of personal privilege. I'm looking through the cast list and I'm like, where are the black people? I don't see any black people.
She didn't know how to approach them. She had to ask someone how to reference them.
Right. When she first created Russian Dolls, she didn't know any black people yet. So she had to go out and meet some, and she was a little scared because they're black.
Well, she's got a whole bunch of Latinos in the show.
Listen, you know what I want to do? You know
that Russian Latino people. Come on.
We need to start. We need to start some kind of a signature chain. All right, where we get enough signatures that we can just have Abu Nas airlifted and dropped in the middle of Disney Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
I guarantee you shit would get better the next day.
Oh, that's hilarious.
How about we start a petition, the president to replace the CEO.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah.
Oh,
Or the president to replace the president. Lucasfilm, just let him run it.
We would see a renaissance of Star Wars.
Absolutely.
When I was on his channel,
get the whole Dark
Lord
Council
Callis,
on the board.
Yeah, we don't be writers. We don't be like the creators, the showrunners.
Look, go and watch. If you didn't watch and just not because I was on it, of course, but go watch Abu Nas's live stream with Lord Callis, myself, and OG, and just listen to us talk about Empire Strike Back, and you could hear the love. You could hear what that meant to all of us.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these fucking movies, these pieces of shit make touch anyone in that way. All it does is it virtue signals.
Yeah,
It gives them weird domestic violence love. It gives them just disrespect and all that shit. But there's not that core belief that, you know what, even though this movie ended with Luke losing his arm and Han frozen in carbonite, there's still a chance that we're going to win this thing, and we're going to win it the right way.
I say throw Mara Jade in there too, and we need a token white dude. We'll get Lethal Lightning, put him in there. He'll be our token whitey.
He'll say whatever we said, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And we got to find, I mean, we got beautiful women everywhere. We have them on the panel, but we need to find, like, the main character is the hottest woman you've ever seen in her life, and she is nice and friendly and open,
Like
and,
a Natasha Henstridge,
right? And likes an ugly dude, because let's go back to that, because people hate a good-looking woman in a movie. You know, they hate lead roles that aren't, like, not strong in a male way, strong in a feminine way. Can we go back to that? God damn it! Man.
No, we can't. We can't. Do you know why? Because that would offend that. She doesn't want hot lesbians.
You know, in that
women.
picture, she's like, "Oh my god, all my friends told me I look like Arya Stark when I wear my glasses."
She's got a round head too. Is she related to Ruin?
Maybe that's why it's backing her.
Yeah, you never know.
Is that a unibrow I see?
Right.
You know,
You know what? It might be.
I'm going fashion police on that ass.
Oh my god, this is one really purposely unattractive woman.
Purposely, right?
I've seen
right,
women who aren't so attractive, but they make themselves up the best that they possibly can. This chick isn't even trying.
Oh, why should she try for you? Yeah, go for it, Jane.
Yeah, you brought up an important point too a moment ago when you were talking about there being no black people in this house. But these are the same people who, listening to them and reading what they say on Twitter, you would think they are the allies. They advocate for black people. They love black people. They think
that's not true, Jane.
Work in Hollywood, but you look at their actual work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like me. Like, seriously, I say some of the most inappropriate things about anybody. Like, you know, I said tranny granny last night, but yet, what? like, tranny granny. Come on, we all thought. But one of my favorite people on Twitter and YouTube is Kiri. And I love her. So do I. And yes, she's a transvestite. You know what? She doesn't shove it down your throat. And I got to know her as a human being.
Transsexual, I think, is
from Transylvania.
That's right. Oh, dude, I was listening to that last night. Yeah. I love Kiri. Kiri added to the book. She's going to be in volume 2, man.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Kiri is awesome.
I wanted that voice in there. You know, well, she says some things. She says some off the wall things now and again, and I'm like, girlfriend, that ain't real. But that's her views. That's her views. You know, like, great. I don't hate her or I don't dislike her because we have different views. You know, that's not my life. That's not what I'm about.
No, because we got to know her as a person. Look, I've had friends that I've known since I was a young kid think I have all of a sudden turned into a freaking skinhead Nazi because I don't support their views anymore because they've gone so far left, even though we were all going to, like, you know, Grateful Dead shows and peace rallies and shit like that when we were younger. And I still believe in those causes of peace and the environment, but I don't believe in everything they believe anymore.
Let me tell you, my best, Scotty. Let me tell you, when I was young, all right, I was a young pagan man, all right, young pagan lad, reading my magic books and my Celtic magic stuff and all that stuff. And my stepmother was a half Irish, half German Republican. All right, wow. Lots of tension in that house. My dad's a racist atheist. And this was my house.
Oh wow!
Now, through the years, my mom became Wiccan. Out of nowhere, she went from Catholic to Wiccan. That's a hell of a change. Mm-hmm. And you know, and she began to ease up on her the way that she thought. My dad, he became kind of a spiritualist, but he's still kind of atheist. But you know, his racism began to subside. And now here we are, years later. And the craziness is my mom has Trump derangement syndrome. My stepmom has Trump derangement syndrome. My dad has Trump derangement syndrome. Has no idea that he went from what you would call, I guess, alt-right racism to alt-left racism. And I'm trying to explain this to him, but I'm just like, you know what? At least you ain't saying the N-word no more. I guess we're there.
Progress.
He's still racist, bro.
What other time do we live in where a media outlet like CNN, during a crisis we have never seen before, will not air the president's daily briefings? Which that would be like saying, FDR's fireside chats on the radio. We're not going to play it. That's to me is what that is. I don't care if you agree with the man or not. Listen, let the people hear what he has to say, and then go on and twist what he said. I don't care if you do that after that, because when you watch what he says some dumbass shit because he sounds ignorant about certain things, but deep down, this guy really does want people to survive and the economy to come back. That's the first: survive, economy come back, and people just that you won't even run him speaking his. I don't get it.
John Boyega is my goddamn hero.
He is
right now,
man. At least there's a voice of reason left.
Yes,
he is awesome.
Listening while not listening is that. I don't know if you can see on the screen.
We've all done
read
that
it for me. I can't really.
Yeah, listening while not listening. He's a freaking man. And then this is Disney Star Wars dumb, and it's John Boyega tells fans to complain to the owners of the IP. So I guess let's get some heat here in the comments. To load there. So he says, "Is that what you?" Or the guy, this James says, "Is that what you try to do when people tells you how much you fucked up the Star Wars saga?" And then he responds, "They would mean I wrote, directed, produced it, as well as starred in it. It's my face the day I found out you exist on this planet, though. Still,
right?
I love it.
I'm just doing what they,
He was an actor. He's an actor. He did what they asked of him to the best of his ability. And I thought, man, he's a talented dude, man. Like, he was funny as shit when that role gave him the opportunity to be. And all they did in the last two movies is have him, scream Rey.
He didn't know. Nobody expected The Last Jedi. Nobody saw that coming.
Right now, we should be cheering, right? The Rise of Skywalker, that shouldn't have ever been called The Rise of Skywalker unless there was a Skywalker in it. But we should be cheering after 9. This dude should be like the next Mace Windu. Like he should be the head of or at least, working in the new Jedi Order, the new Jedi Temple. Like, that's where we should be with his character.
Right. Had that sense, man.
And he's Rey. That's all we got.
Through the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, but at least he's acknowledging, it was terrible, but I didn't write it, I didn't produce it, He's just did what he was told.
Ray, I gotta tell you something. Ray, I gotta tell you something. Ray, what the hell, man?
What'd you have to tell her? Nothing.
Nothing. It wasn't important enough.
Look, and then can we please talk about one of the smoothest motherfuckers ever to come out of Hollywood, Billy D, looking like a total creeper at the end of that movie.
Yes.
Why did you make him look like that?
I have not seen that yet.
Well, if the context was correct. If the context was correct, you would have realized that he was looking at her as a dad.
Yep.
Not, but it wasn't.
Didn't find that out.
He was looking at her like, "Hey, you ever do a robot? I have. Let's get this shit on."
No.
Yeah. This is when they should have talked to the black people.
Yeah.
Yes, Jane, preach.
Yeah, I agree.
They're like, no.
They should have been like, what's her name? They should have went to the black people and said, is it okay for me to speak with you? How would you like me to address you? What would you like in Star Wars?
They should have consulted the black delegation.
Yeah.
Remember from the racial draft?
I want Dave Chappelle there.
Tiger Woods. Oh my God.
Have a black man get tased repeatedly as he's chasing after a white woman. Should we do that?
Okay.
That's a good idea.
And let's make sure let's make her Asian. Let's have an Asian woman tase a black guy chasing a white woman. Let's do that.
We've done that
Let's
before.
Let's make sure when he just was really heroic. Let's make him look like a coward.
How does that make sense?
Tear him back down.
That was like the best. That was the best way to leave him in 7. Okay, that little bit right there. I got a lot of problems with 7, but shit, that was the best way. Him holding that lightsaber first off.
Yep.
That tells you right there. He's got the force. You need to have the force to use that weapon. And then I'm okay. And I don't mean like Han cutting open.
No, but he did okay with it. Like he fought with it and he did okay.
And he did okay.
Do that, yeah.
Right. You're fighting a trained force user. That means he had the instinct. He had the force in him to have the instinct in order to deflect blows and do what he was doing. But he was going to lose. And then he went out by taking a saber to the spine. Who knows what that means to the audience? Is he going to be crippled now? What does that mean? That's a heroic moment. I love Finn in that first movie.
45 minutes later, he wakes up and he's fine.
He's in a bubble.
His jacket is like sealed up, like sewn up all of a sudden. That was it.
And he's playing a freaking fool.
Yeah,
they made him into a fool. He's the black comic.
No, not a fool. He was a coward. He was a coward.
Yeah.
Well, they turned him into a coward, because he was trying to leave.
Yeah.
And they made him comic relief. The first scene, he's falling out, going everywhere. It's like,
and his journey meant nothing in that. You could have took him and Rose out of that movie, and it wouldn't have affected that movie one bit.
Even the biggest climactic moment where he could have been a sacrificial hero, they took that away from him. You know, it's like, hey, he's gonna kill himself to let these guys survive, and then Rose came and took that away from him too.
You could have had that moment with Phasma again. But if you had explained how she survived Starkiller, if you gave her a part in the story, and then you threaded the two stories together so that he had that confrontation with her again.
Another moment.
Right. I'm a Game of Thrones fan, and I was so stoked when Glenda Christie, or whatever her name is, was because they tell me that's not someone who's been in more interviews and hyped up more for the most useless role in any
character. I love Gwendolyn Christie. I know
gorgeous.
Were you that were talking about the fight with the Hound? Somebody was talking to me about the fight. Okay. I love that scene. I love that scene because I do understand that even though a woman of that height is going to be physically weaker than a man, for her to in lack of a better term, man up and beat the shit out of the Hound and come out of that situation a winner. I love that. That's like rooting for the underdog.
See, in the book, it's even better, man, because that character in the book, I'm sorry, real quick, that character in the book, she's not as pretty as her, definitely not. And she is a big woman and she's strong, but like by the end of the book, she has a part of her cheek bitten off. She is but she wins battles. You know what I mean? Like she finds a way.
And that's one of the things that I do. I love characters with weaknesses, characters with faults. I love underdogs. Those
you can relate to them.
Right. Those are my favorite types. So when I found out that she was in 7, I was was all for it. Not only because I was a Game of Thrones fan, well, probably because I saw her through that, but so that another wasted, just completely wasted character and actress. You wanted to show a strong female lead, you lost it right there. Gwendolyn Christie, you lost with her. You had the perfect time to do it with her. I mean, with Rey too. It's just make Rey Jaina Solo. How fucking hard is that?
That would have given fans what we wanted, though. So we couldn't do that.
Jaina Solo was already a strong female lead that carried on the fucking team and was a hero and fought Darth Caedus and went up against the Yuuzhan Vong and fucking, you know what I mean? Like went up against impossible odds, things that didn't even the Force didn't even affect. I mean, she was a great Jedi. You go.
But straight white men like her. So they can't do it. We gotta go in a different direction.
I know.